What up, everyone? So back into the box reviewing game. It's been a long time since I reviewed an actual box. Like a month. So today we got Smuggler's Bounty. One box that I was actually planning on canceling, but then I saw the special pop ride that they have for this box, so I thought I'd keep it around to check it out. But I think this will be the deciding box to see if I keep it around for a little while or just kind of bail. So let's see what we got. And this box is huge. Because the other one, you got it sitting around here somewhere, it's like half the size. So the pop ride must be huge. So first of all, got our patch and pin combo. And it looks like we got Chewie on the pin. I think that's Luke, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It could just be a random pilot, but it might be Luke as the pilot. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe the description card will say it. But I would hope it's Luke, other than a random fighter pilot. Alrighty. Here we go. Obvious big giant item here, the pop ride. And it is Luke Skywalker with the land speeder. Ba-doop. Nice and big. So I really like it when they do these ones. Because I haven't been a big fan of most of the boxes from Smuggler's Bounty. Not because they were bad or anything, just because they were never that special. I really liked the Han Solo on the Tauntaun that we got. I thought that was really cool and different and something special. And that's what I usually liked about the box. That's why I originally subscribed to Marvel Collector Corps, because it had the Hulkbuster. It was a really big, oversized one, and a character that was never done. So that made it cool. I like special stuff. This is one of them. I like that. It's a pop ride. And I think it's also considered one of the deluxe ones because it has a little platform in there that it sits on. So a lot of the pop rides just come with the vehicle, but these deluxe ones actually come with a little base too, just like the Tauntaun did. So he was riding on something, but it came with a little base, so it's almost like a full scene, and then it has a little background in there. So I could be wrong on if it's deluxe or not, but I think it is. But that's what I like. I like a whole scenario for it. And I think they should do that with some of the pop figures too. I have ideas that I think Funko should do, but that's a separate story. But I really like this. It's not particularly amazing as far as quality, but it is kind of cool. And I like that Luke actually has his hands on the steering wheel, if you can see in there. So he's not just like sitting in there. You can tell it's made specifically for that. And they did a good job on the detail. They got some like specks and splatters. So it looks pretty legit. Yeah, overall very nice. And it comes with a nice stand to go on. So I like it. So that's why I kept it around. I thought this one was very special. I hope they do more stuff like this. Obviously, they're not going to do one of these every single month, but to throw one in here and there I think is good. And I think the same for all the Funko boxes. Especially Marvel. They did the Hulkbuster and then haven't really done a special one since then. So I really like that they did this. And I hope they do more because there are so many vehicles. It would be really cool to get like a TIE Fighter or a X-Wing or something like that. It'd be really cool to get those because I don't think they've been done. And we're just overdoing it with the standard pop figures because that's what we usually get. We usually get 2 pop figures from here. And it's either a character that's already been done or a really obscure character. And that's why I've never been a big fan of it. So yeah, so I'm really happy that they did this. And that's why I kept it around. I like it a lot. Alright, next. So not a lot of items in here. Next, it looks like we got Salt and Pepper Shakers, Solo, and Greedo. So we've seen these before, and this is the Pop Home edition stuff. Salt and Pepper Shakers, which are fine. I highly doubt most people use these as salt and pepper shakers, but the cool thing is, even if you don't use them as that, you can still have them on display. You can keep them in the box, you can take them out and just have them as figures, because quite honestly, they're not much different from regular pop figures as far as the design and quality. The material is different because I believe they're ceramic, which I really like, so I think that's still cool because it's just about the same as pop figures, and if you wanted to, you could use them as salt and pepper shakers if you happen to use them or have somewhere to put them and use them, so that's kind of cool. So I like that. They haven't done it too many times, but every once in a while it's fine. And it's kind of like getting 2 pop figures, so I don't mind that. And then we only have one more item in here. And this is the wearable item. And it just looks like we got some sweatbands. Really nothing special about them. Just 2 sweatbands that say Star Wars. Can't get much more simple than that. So it looks like we just got those items. And obviously no shirt. I think they never included a shirt when they did the bigger ones, because I don't think they did with Han Solo and the Tauntaun either. I think it was just the figure, which I'm fine with. I'm always okay with a box not including a shirt, because we just get so many shirts. Every box has shirts, so I'm perfectly fine with them skipping wearables and just doing better figures. So that's okay with me. So yeah, that was all the items in the box. Keeping it pretty simple. Nothing really special to say about that. So we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back, talk about some value on these items, and give this box a rating. See you soon. Alright, we are back. Let's talk about some value on these items. So, first, the Pop Ride. One thing to know, I didn't get a description card. Usually they come with these little, like, cards, like a little piece of paper in there with a description on it, but I did not get one this time. I would assume that's by mistake because they've had one in every single box, with the exception of this one, so I would assume that's just some kind of mistake, but I'm not totally sure. I don't know why I didn't get one. Doesn't really matter too much, but sometimes they have little bits of information on there. Like I was going to say whether this is deluxe or not. It doesn't really matter, but just interesting. So this box has been out a little while, so these values will be a little more accurate than usual. I purposely waited about a week after I got this one to let the values kind of taper down a little bit. So starting off with this Pop Ride, this one at the moment is going for around $35. And when it's all said and done, after like a week or two, it'll probably end up being around $30, which I think is pretty reasonable. It's not a crazy price. I don't think we're going to see any crazy high prices from these boxes anymore. The whole hype about it is kind of over, and so many people get it that these items get devalued very quickly because there's such a huge run of all these figures, so high values on these is not very likely anymore. So having it be around the $30 to $35 value, I think is reasonable, because if this wasn't exclusive and was just in a store, it'd probably be about 30 bucks, give or take. Maybe like 32 bucks, 95. But yeah, right now it's at 35, but I can see that dropping a couple dollars over the next week or so. Next, the Salt and Pepper Shaker. These are cool, I like them, but they're not very collectible at all, and they're not very valuable. They never really have been. They're just very common stuff, and I don't know why Pops are so collectible, but everything else isn't. But you know, just kind of how it is. But that's only going for about 10 bucks. And it'll probably stay around that value, maybe drop a buck or two, but not too much. And then our little sweatbands, they call them, everyone's calling them wristbands, but I think they're sweatbands. I don't really know what the difference is. But anyway, those are going for like 6 or 7 bucks, and those will probably drop a dollar or two as well. And then the last thing is just the patch and the pin, and that's going to be $6 to $8, and that's always standard. With any of these Funko boxes, it's almost always, they always give a patch and a pin, and it's almost always somewhere between like $5 and like $9, give or take. And this one's about a $6 to $8 value, so no surprise there. They're all very common, they all look very similar, so that's it. And that's all the items we got, and I don't think I'm missing anything. I could be, but I don't know because I didn't get my description card. I guess I'll know when I post the video. Anyway, that brings our value on the low end of 56 and on the high end of 59. So pretty low on the value. Surprisingly low, actually. So which makes me kind of believe that maybe I'm missing an item, but that's a little bit lower than we usually get. They're usually pretty good about giving right around double the value, and it's quite a bit lower than that. Not too much. This box, depending on what state you're in, is somewhere between like 32 to 35-ish, right around that area, so it's more of a, you'd have to get $70 to get double your value, and this didn't quite do it. It isn't always the best at it. Honestly, of all the Funko boxes, I think the Star Wars one is on the bottom tier. It usually always gives the least value, it always gives the least variety, it's more common about stuff, so that's why it's just one of my least favorite. Nothing against Star Wars, has nothing to do with that, it's just Funko in general. So, that being said, I'm only going to give this box a 4.5 out of 10. Now, keep in mind, I'm on my new rating system here, so I'm rating much more harshly. In my new rating system, I'm only giving it a score if I think it's worth getting. If it's not worth getting, it gets an automatic 0, so keep that in mind. So the reason it only gets a 4.5 is because the value's not that great, and you know, the items weren't that great either. I do really like the Pop Ride, but I think the whole box is centered around that. Everything else is just kind of featured there, because no one gives a flying fuck about these wristbands. Salt and Pepper Shakers are okay, like they're cool to put on display, and the patch and pin is just overly common. So it all kind of centers around this, and I'm happy to have it, but my personal advice to anyone out there, you'd be much better off just buying this on its own. Save yourself a little bit of money, or actually you probably would have paid the same amount, but you could just buy this on your own, or wait a little bit and the value will probably come down on that, and just buy that and save yourself the effort. So I think a lot of people would have been better just doing that versus getting the box. So that's why it has a lower score, because I'm just recommending that people don't get the box, and I think I'm going to stop getting it as well. And if something like this shows up, I'll just get that one item, or wait for the value to go down, and it absolutely will. That's my advice to you guys, is that these items that are in any Funko box, the value is just going to continue to go down over time. The value is not going to come up again for decades. So don't worry about getting it early. Wait as long as you want. The value will keep dropping because there are literally hundreds of thousands of these that get sent out every month. So the longer you wait, the more the value goes down. And if you wait a month or two, it'll probably get it for like 20 to 25 bucks and save yourself a 10 bucks on getting the box. So that's the thing about it. It's just, if it's not worth buying this monthly box, then I'm not recommending it, and therefore it gets a lower score. I still like it overall, and I think some people like the salt and pepper shaker, but that's really all it is. It's just barely okay, and it's just not really cutting it anymore. So I'm happy I got the speeder, but that's about it. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought about it. Are you super happy with this box? Are you happy with the subscription? And let me know what you guys think of it overall. It's been around for over a year now, and I've only liked the speeder and the tauntaun. Everything else, like I was saying before, is just too common. It's 2 pop figures and the same stuff every time. The alternate items are usually crappy, and the pop figures are, like I said, either characters that have already been done, that I already have, that now I just have another one, or they're very, very obscure characters. So again, like I've said a million times, this box only seems to be geared towards the really hardcore fan. The fan that wants a pop figure of every character that's ever been in a Star Wars movie, but for the casual Star Wars fan, like me, it just doesn't really seem geared towards that too much. And since there are so many other Funko boxes out there, especially with the Disney one that just came out, which I'm a big fan of, I think I'm going to let this one go, because that still leaves DC, Marvel, and the Disney one. So I think I'm going to let this one slide. I know the new movie's coming out, but that's so many months away, and I don't even know if it'll be good, because I thought The Force Awakens was just okay. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought about it in the box overall, and give me your opinions, whether you think I should keep it around, or if I should just let it pass and do some other stuff. And again, I'm trying to open up the channel to more other things, so we'll see how that goes. So for now, 4.5 on the box. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and we'll talk in the next video. Thank you all for watching and supporting. Love you all. Peace.